guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will finally be doing the All Stars Remake video. And today we'll start it off by just saying that this is only my opinion, and thanks for all the support. And I want to say that there's 30 members, all of them deserve to be an All Stars in my opinion. There's 8 people that don't deserve to be an All-Star in my opinion. But then I just had to have Eva here because, yeah, she was just a villain. So, and then also we have 2 people that you might not see why they're in the villain's place. Jeff is because of the aftermath, and Trent because of action. He tried to lose for his team. Yeah. So let's just say that the first some challenges are going to be the same, and then the challenges after will not be the same, but then the challenges in the merge will still be the same. So let's just get on with it. So in the first episode, it's the carriage, and I think it's one of these 3 that want to do it, and Lightning doesn't want to do it because he's good at swimming. I say they put in Eva, and then these guys put in Brick. Yeah. Okay. And then let's see. This order, I'm just gonna make a random order because I don't know what order they would actually jump in. Yeah. So Scott will not jump, so I'm gonna put him to the end. Okay, there we go. So Gwen and Zoe, they both get one right away. And I think they're both duds. But Brick does get back before Eva. Yeah. And then Lashana and Heather, I think they would be right beside each other and they would be fighting. And they would probably break the keys because when they try to put it in, it would bend. Eva and Joe, they get a dud key. And then it would be Eva and Justin. Then it would be Mike and Brick. Then I think Brick and Dawn because Dawn's really light. But then this is where they go wrong for Brick. Owen's okay, like Owen is so heavy that I think he'll just break the car. Duncan has a dud one. Then I think Alejandro wins it for them. So Alejandro is the winner. Wins it for the villains. And now we have to vote someone off down here. So what I'm thinking is that DJ, Dawn, Brick, these 3 are all an alliance. And we got Cameron, Mike, Zoe, they're all an alliance. And we got Harold, Lashana, and maybe even Bridget. They're all in the alliance. Owen doesn't have an alliance. Sam doesn't have an alliance. Tyler and Lindsay and Sierra and Cody do. So what I'm thinking is that I think that Brick's alliance considers Sam weak, and Lashana's alliance considers Sam weak. But then I think Cody, Sierra, and then Cameron, Mike, and Zoe, and Sam all vote Owen for making them lose today. But I think Lindsay, Tyler, and Owen vote Sam, which in into a 9-6 vote, Sam's eliminated. So this next one is gonna be the same as the original. It doesn't even matter what happens. Lightning's eliminated. But in this episode, Eva and Lightning bonded before Lightning got eliminated. Now Eva's going all her sicko mode and is really mad. Anne Marie and Justin bonded, and then some relationships, like Trent tried to flirt with Gwen, but she denied him. And then Joe and Eva are like super good friends now. Yeah. So episode 3. This one is the Leech Ball Challenge. So in here, we're going to start off with Justin and Maria quitting straight away. Cody, Cameron, Harold, they all get found. Jeff, Noah, Trent, and Izzy, because we got to get rid of some of them strong. DJ, Dawn, Lindsay, Bridget. Then this is where we are. So for this next one, it would be Scott, Joe, Gwen, Alejandro. So these 4 are the last 4. But then I think Duncan would protect Gwen, but miss, and Gwen would be hit. But it still counts as a heroic move. So he's going to get swapped later with one of these guys. Mike's out. LaShawna's out. And then this is where Tyler uses Owen as a shield to not get eliminated because no one can miss Owen. Owen, Sierra. So that was a 4v3. Courtney, Duncan, Zoe, Tyler, Heather. So now it's Brick versus Eva. And I think overall, Eva does get Brick. And then Chris announces that they will be switching Duncan and Tyler next episode. So we gotta vote someone off, and then they are going to just So get back into your alliances. No, that's not your alliance. It's the U that's right there. And I think this episode, Lindsay would be eliminated for launching a leech ball and hitting herself in the face. Because that sounds like something that All Stars Lindsay would do. So now we switch Duncan and Tyler. There we go. And now we got the obstacle course, I'm pretty sure. Yes. And this would be... Well, just by looking at it, look at they have Eva. It's like eating stuff, but Sam's not here. It's eating stuff. Like, Owen would do very good in this challenge, but I think he would puke after he goes into the thing. LaShawna would puke. Mike would puke. Cody would puke. Bridget would puke. Cameron would puke. Noah would puke. Justin would puke. And Maria would puke. Tyler would puke. So yeah, just by looking at it, it was a 4 to 6 heroes lose. Here we go. So Duncan would now form an alliance with Dawn, DJ, Owen, Bridget, and LaShawna, and Harold, because LaShawna wants to. And they get majority, because look, it's a 7 to 6. And I think they just get rid of Cameron for being the weakest. Yeah. And this one's the Blue Moon one, where they have to go over the like over the camp while there's a blue moon. So they do the route, and they are on the bridge, right? Courtney does not go on the bridge. Scott doesn't go on the bridge. Gwen doesn't go on the bridge. Tarek doesn't go on the bridge. Tyler does not go on the bridge. Neither does these two or him. So these 6 are on the bridge, okay? You know what Izzy does? Izzy finds a spider costume and scares the crap out of these 5, almost knocking them to the ground. And these guys actually win the challenge, so Izzy's eliminated. Yeah. So the next one is the egg challenge. And I think this is where this is where Heather finds the thing, but Alejandro steals it. So that Alejandro has the idol. And just by looking at this, these guys are way too good to lose this challenge. And then these 7 get to choose again, and I think they eliminate Cody. But that's not all. Sierra then jumps into the toilet last second to also be eliminated with Cody. Next is the challenge thing. We're going to have 3 people sit out, and I think that 3 people would be these 3. These 3 sit out. It'll be Courtney fighting Gwen, because no matter what, these guys get a point. So villainous, these guys get a point. Scott does not face his fear. Heather, probably you have to knock out a sumo wrestler. Yeah, no. Alejandro would face his fear. Trent, fighting a mime will not be that hard. So yeah, you could face your fear. You have to fight a big chicken. Yeah, no. You would probably face your fear. You too. But no, your fear is actually probably Bridget, your enemy. So you fight Bridget, and Bridget loses, which makes Jeff really mad at you. Jeff fails to do his thing. So now we got 6 people on this team and 1 person that lost on this team. You complete your fear, you complete your fear, you complete your fear. You're turning into a good guy. But you, I still think, would not be like the actual Duncan. You'd just be like a bad, chill Duncan, because you still got DJ and Jeff and Owen. So you would actually fight like a big, scary guy, and you would lose. DJ, you would not finish your sphere, and neither would you. Owen would finish his sphere, Lashana would finish his sphere, and Harold would finish his sphere. But since these guys have more people, these guys win. This is where Jeff tells everyone about Eva and what she did to Bridget. And I think in a 6-7 vote, 6-7, Eva would be eliminated. Okay, this one's gonna be kind of like out there, but you know those VR stuff? Yeah. You have to simulate in a challenge with that in like a war crime thing. So you have to fight the other team. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking out of these guys, a lot of them survive. But this is something that Tyler would mess up on. Tyler would say to Anne Maria to move her hair, which caused them both to die, because Anne Maria shoots Tyler in the face, and then Anne Maria just gets shot in the face, generally. Justin dies, Noah dies, Jeff dies, Trent dies, Zoe dies. No, that's Bridget, not Zoe. Bridget dies, Dawn dies, DJ dies, Harold dies, Scott dies, Gwen and Courtney die for yelling at each other. Mike dies, Owen dies, Heather dies, Lashana dies for shooting Heather but then getting shot by Alejandro. Alejandro dies, Brick dies, Joe dies. Yeah, so Zoe and Duncan win it for their team. So it's pretty obvious who they're going to vote off. Heather tells everyone about what Anne-Marie is doing with Justin, and they fight. Okay. This one's like you have to get animals, and then the person with the most amount of animals win. So we got DJ and Dawn. It's not even that hard to choose who wins. DJ and Dawn just win for their team. And then everyone would vote Noah because he's not helping at all in the challenges. So next up, it's like jump, it's like another one of that jump stuff, but it's like an athletic challenge. The first thing is who can jump the farthest, and the worst 6 gets eliminated. And those 6 will be Owen, Tyler, Harold, Bridget, Mike, and Trent. Next one is the fastest. Justin, Jeff. These 4 people get eliminated. Gwen and Dawn. Hide and seek. DJ, Courtney, Alejandro, Heather, Lashana, and Duncan. So these 4 are the final 4. And I think in this one it would be like a paintball challenge. And personally, I think Brick and Scott will be eliminated before Joe does get Zoe out. And now Duncan gets DJ and say that Owen didn't really do good in the challenge. So now I think that DJ, Dawn, Duncan, Bridget, Lashana, Harold, these guys all vote off Owen. Okay, this one is a double elimination. So everybody gets to roll down a hill. It'll be a 1v1. The losing team has to eliminate 2 people, but if you get a point for your team, you get immunity. So what I'm going to do is going to put you against probably your biggest rival or your biggest hero, and we're going to make you fight. Alejandro, Mike, Duncan, Courtney, Dawn doesn't really have that much enemies. Scott, yeah, that would work. Like Alejandro, Duncan, Courtney, these 2, because they're both athletic. I think Justin sits out. Oh no, Gwen would sit out because of Justin, and yeah. So Gwen automatically gets immunity for sitting out. So Jeff loses to Bridget because he doesn't want to hit his girlfriend, obviously. Scott wins. Oh, whoever has immunity goes back here. So Mike wins. Or no, Alejandro wins. Duncan wins. Brick wins. Trent wins. Lashana wins. Harold wins. I would say Zoe wins. Yeah, so these guys win. And the people that are up for elimination is these six. And I think here, we got Courtney, who finally makes up with Gwen. And then he's just simping over Gwen right now. I think Gwen's going to use this for her advantage. Then they get Tyler, because Tyler's the easiest to manipulate. And I think 3 of them vote Jeff, or 3 of them vote Justin, and the other 2 vote Jeff. And I think Jeff and Justin would be eliminated. So, next up. Okay. So, now we got a challenge where you gotta shoot some basketball into a hoop. Personally, just by looking at them, the villains win. And the big alliance just takes on Mike, because Mike is doing less than Zoe is. And Merge is top 8, by the way. Yeah, so next up was a concert. So whoever has the best concert wins. And just by looking at it, you're good at singing, you're good at singing, you're good at singing. Meh. These guys are all meh. Alejandro's good at singing. These 4 meh. Duncan's good at singing. These 2 are good at singing. You're good at singing. DJ, you're good at singing. So it's a 5v4. And I think the worst person at singing here was Joe, and Joe gets eliminated. So next up is it's where you gotta get in pairs, and then you gotta do challenges. The worst pair gets eliminated. So it would be Gwen, Scott, and then these 2, and then you. So you have to participate solo. DJ Dawn, Lashana Harold, Brick Zoe, and Bridget Duncan. The first team eliminated would probably be if you're eliminated, I'll put you up here. First team eliminated is probably going to be Harold and Lashana. Then it would probably be Heather and Alejandro. Then Tyler. Then Zoe and Brick. Then DJ and Dawn. Then these 3 would just keep fighting. That'll be Courtney and Scott. And then these guys, Bridget and Duncan win. So villains have to vote someone off. And I think the only person that's left out here is probably Tyler. So now we are going up, as there has to be 5 more people eliminated before we get to merge, I think. No, wait. 6 more people. We have to eliminate 1 more person. Okay, so in this challenge, you have to go by it's an escape room. And I think here, Harold would take saying that he's super good at the challenges. And I think Alejandro, they would all fight over it. But I think personally, Harold would lead them in the wrong way, while Duncan is trying to lead them in the right way. And 3 people get out compared to 5 people don't. So I think here, the villains win, and Harold does get eliminated for leading them in the wrong way. this one is like try to get like a key from something, and whoever gets the most amount of keys win. And I think Bridget sits out here. Personally, I think these guys get 2 compared to these guys who get 4. These guys get 4. These guys get 2. Yeah. Like look at this. Brick could easily get 1. DJ could get 1. Dawn could get 1, and I think Zoe could get 1. Over here, I think Trent could get 1. Courtney could get 1, and Heather could get 1. So 4-3. These guys lose, and I think here these 4 would all vote Alejandro, and Heather would also vote Alejandro. But where I said he still has the idol. Heather gets eliminated, just like in the actual thing. Next up, so this one's like a surf thing. Like you have to stay the longest on the surf while being shot. Scott and these 2 would sit out because it would be like a seagull gun, and Brick. These 2 will be shooting the stuff. And I think personally, so this is where Bridget will be super good, trying to teach them all how to do it. So I think Zoe would lose first, then Lashana, because we know these 2 are actually good at surfing. We got Trent, and then Duncan, then Courtney, then Gwen. Then I think Scott would finally push off Bridget. Now I think this is where these guys think that Bridget is a little bit bossy, and that's where they vote her off. So next up will be like a challenge where you gotta like find an egg and bring it back. I think in this episode Zoe turns into Commando Zoe, and then Trent, it's basically these 2 because these guys picked him to go, these guys picked her to go. I think Trent does actually win, and then Zoe's eliminated. So now we got the next challenge. It's a challenge where you are doing like a fashion contest, and a fashion contest here would obviously be Lashana winning. And here I think Gwen is getting a little bit mad at Trent, and she got these 3 to just vote him off. Next up, 9th place. The challenge is the challenge is who do you trust, and it's like a 4v4. So I think Dawn sits this one out. It'll be Duncan versus Courtney, Lashana versus Alejandro, and then yeah. So Gwen wins, and if you win, you do go to merge. Gwen wins, Alejandro wins, Duncan wins, and Scott wins. So Courtney fights them all, and Brooke's the only one that wins, and then Courtney can move on. And then out of these 3, they all get a vote, and obviously Lashana will be voted off because DJ and Dawn would obviously vote for her, not for each other. So now we're in merge. We're going to do the actual challenges. Like, first off, it would be the challenge where you got a boat. And since there's no Mal, Duncan would not blow up the cottage because no one would think he's a good guy. So I think personally here, Duncan would settle up with Courtney and be like, okay, I'm sorry about cheating on you. It's just that you were getting a little bit bossy. And I think here Duncan, these guys would all team up. And only one person can get immunity. I think here the person will be Scott. So I think here in this vote, these four all say how much of a threat their alliance is for. And I think Duncan goes over to DJ and be like, I think Gwen is cheating on me with Trent. Can we please vote off Gwen? So in a 5-3 vote, Gwen's eliminated. So it's Zeke and you shall find. And I think Courtney, Duncan, and Alejandro would not give a crap and so would DJ, because they all know what Chris puts them through, and so it'll be between these three to actually find Chris. I think the winner would actually be Dawn. I think here everyone will vote Alejandro, and then Courtney will be very mad at Duncan right now because of what happened to Gwen. Here we go. So in this one, it's 2 truths and a lie. This one's a random one because I don't remember what it was. So yeah. So the winner would be Scott because he's so good at lying to people. And then I think Dawn would just come over to DJ and Duncan, like talk. And I think personally, these guys will probably vote off. It would be a tie between. Actually, no, it wouldn't because they have Brick. So I think Courtney would be eliminated. So this challenge is the Sunday challenge, and I think here this one would be Scott would be the winner, and I think Break would be eliminated because these three are way too good with friends. Next up is a Purge challenge, and this challenge is you have to bring back something that So the worst person to do this does get eliminated, and that person will probably be DJ because he doesn't want to hurt animals. And then the winner, aka Dawn, will choose who she wants to bring back or bring to the championship. And I think she misheard the thing and says, who do you want to eliminate? And she says Scott. Apparently Scott does move on, and Duncan gets last or third. So I think here it would be these two. That will be the winner. And thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.